Winning big games like that in the regular season is good and fine and important and all, but it's not what's made Tom Izzo Tom Izzo. The reason he's one of the greats of his generation is because of his success in March. 6 Final Fours the last 13 years. If he can get one more Final Four on his resume, that'll give him 7 and tie him with Roy Williams for the 4th most in the history of head coaches in major college basketball. And it's possible they can do it. They are a 3 seed. They'll be taking on the 14-seeded Valparaiso team, I should say. It's their first NCAA tournament since 2004. They come from the Horizon League. They're the regular season champions and the postseason tournament champions. Ryan Brokoff, that's the name to keep an eye on. 15 points a game for him. And again, since they won their tournament, they are hot. They've got 6-game winning streak coming into this matchup. 1-4 all time against MSU. And for the Spartans, they've got 35 NCAA tournament wins dating back to 1999. That's 3rd best in the country, only behind Duke and KU. Win that game, and likely there's a chance they'll have a Memphis team waiting for them in the next round. Dave?
16th straight NCAA tournament appearance for Michigan State. It's the 2nd longest streak in the history of the Big Ten. Only Indiana has ever had a longer one. We talked about the draw being a good one. And Bryce Drew, the head coach of Valpo, knows a thing or two about NCAA tourney successes, maybe one of the most famous shots in tournament history. What do you think, though, about this draw for MSU?
I like the draw in regards to the first round. Now, the 3rd round, if you're talking about Memphis, it causes me a little bit concerned because Memphis has a very good backcourt, and that's where I think Michigan State will have its biggest challenge, because at the bottom of this, even if you get past Memphis, you have Duke down there waiting. So that's the difference here with this team. But Michigan State, in regards to when their backcourt is playing well, they have an opportunity because you got Adrian Payne, Derek Nixon inside, Brandon Dawson, who can handle their own. But when I look at this draw, what stands out to me is that 3rd round game, possibly against a Memphis team.
Well, we talked about all the success that Tom Izzo has had this time of year. The coach of the Spartans standing by now in East Lansing with our Lisa Byington.
Well, Michigan State has played in Auburn Hills for a regional in this tournament back in 2000, and you played in Detroit for a Final Four. So tell me about the excitement for you and this program to play in front of the hometown fans.
Well, there's 99% excitement and 1%, you know, gets a little shaky because you got to make sure that the players stay focused, and there'll be so many people around. But this is going to be great, playing Auburn Hills and not have to travel a long way. Our fans, great for them. Our families, great for them. And hey, the Pistons are down there. This is a great place to play. With
your 5,000 tapes, I know you already have ready with the equipment that you have. Any like early thoughts on Valparaiso at all?
You know, I have seen them a little bit, but I will get a chance to see them a lot tonight. And very good program, very good team. You know, I just haven't really watched them to study them yet, but that's what I'll do when I get done with this interview.
When you and your team have had success in the tournament, Michigan State has been able to do what?
Well, number one, stay focused, which is a little bit of a concern with this team, you know, because your leadership's got to be really good so that they can focus in on all the things and not get caught up in the fall draw. You know, have a goal on what you want to accomplish. And for us, it's to get out of the first weekend. You know, it starts with 1 game, but it's get out of the first weekend. And then if we can do that, we'll attack our next goal.
I'm curious, for the first time as a head coach, you had an athletic director on the selection committee. Do you have any critiques or anything for him?
I will when I study the bracket. You know, I haven't seen it totally, but it seems to me that, you know, I was hoping we'd get an Iowa in there because I'm begging. But I also think most of the teams, I thought Wisconsin could be a little lower. I'm so happy Minnesota got in. And where the Spartans are, he had nothing to do with, so don't take any credit, Hollis, but because he's not allowed to do that. But I think it went pretty good for the Big Ten.
As always, we appreciate the time. Guys, Michigan State, the 3 seed. Back to you.
Well, you look at the success for Tom Izzo, and it is absolutely remarkable, including the Big Ten record, 6 Final Fours. Nobody has made more Final Fours over the last 14 years than Michigan State has.